Hello Exiles, as I promised you, I'm bringing you the patch summary for the new patch that will be released until the end of this week. They released finally the patch summary. On my last video about the new patch, I give you all the information we had so far. Now we have everything much detailed. So let's take a look, and we started with the private leaks. Mainly, they plan to introduce, along with this new patch, the options to create private leaks. Just a note, there will be no extra modes available for these private leagues right now, but they will introduce really soon. For me, I think it's great always to have much more options to play it, but I will continue to play the current league down off the hunt. I'm in level 88 with the hunters, so I'm trying to get the level 100. Let's see if I can do it. Now let's jump for the quick use currency buttons on Strongbox and Instance. Mainly, they added quick use buttons that appear below the labels of Strongbox and Instances. For Strongbox, the currency display is dynamic based on the state of the Strongbox and is only displayed if that currency is in your inventory. I'll show you an example because I have the image they show us before. Okay, you have in your screen right now, for example, here, guarded by 10 packs of monsters. Okay, we have here these two icons since they are in your inventory. I think this is great, will save us a lot of time and it's much straightforward. I really like this improvement. It's a small detail, but for me, it's great. I like it. For example, this is a very good example and I think the image show you everything you need to know. Now, let's jump for bridge improvements. And here we have some stuff I really like it. For example, bridge has significant issues when spawning monsters in very narrow or tight areas. By the way, I will show you right now a video. Another situation I found on the rituals. Sometimes we are in the very narrow or tight areas. And this example is not the worst. Before we discuss everything on the bridge, I will show you this video that I was playing yesterday night and man, this is really narrow and this was not the worst, okay? I will show you right now the video, it's funny. Okay, we have now the rituals, the situation I told you about that I faced it yesterday, but I had a situation much worse than this one, but I don't have the video, but I think this is a very good example. Let's take a look, the space, look, was really narrow. Look, I just only had this space to face all the mob, but I had another situation was much worse than this one. Almost I cannot move. So I think here they need also to do some improvements. So this is about the rituals. Going back to the bridge, they are concerned about this. So it was expected to be worse in those areas because you can only fit so many monsters in a given space. Exactly the same as I'm giving right now about the rituals. And this was not the worst. This made bridge encounter worse than we wanted and result in a very boring experience where you felt like you failed even though there was little you could do about it. Yes, I agree. Really happy they are fixing this. We have made a change to how monsters spawn in bridge to be more reliable. Great. Additionally, we have changed the minimum time of a bridge, assuming no monsters are killed, to 20 seconds from 12 seconds. We have also made the time extension granting by killing monsters account for monsters' power. This means if you kill magic or rare enemies during the bridge, it will extend the time more than killing normal monsters. Okay, so when we are doing the bridge, if we face magic or rare enemies, if you can do it, will be much better to defeat them because we'll extend the time much more than killing normal monsters. Previously, we spoke about dropping few stacks of splinters in large quantities, but instead of that, we are making a more drastic improvements. And let's see it. We'll now vacuum up all the bridge splinters dropped during a bridge encounter and drop them at your location when the bridge concludes. Man, this is much better. Much better. Much easier. Then go back all over again and collect them. Now, just they drop at our location. I like it. Really, really great. Okay, this is a good improvement. Now let's talk about SirMariio and Wisp improvements. SirMariio and Wisp has received two changes. The first is that when you activate the second wisp, this happened me already, while pursuing one already, that wisp will now always target the same rare monster as the one you were already chasing. Okay, this was uncommon during the campaign and mostly present itself in the endgame, especially with Atlas 3 investment. But when it didn't happen, you will lose one of the most with common. Yeah, that happened a lot, and I really hate it. I'm glad they fixed it. The other change is that the spirit of the spring hare and spring of the fox were far too rare. Yeah, we have made these 3 times more common. They can create some pretty hectic and rewarding outcomes, and we want to give more opportunities to encounter these and their rewards. Okay, I like it. Both changes for me are great. Now, Rogue Exile visibility improvements. I think I already know they will talk about because sometimes I'm not reading the text already, but sometimes when I face Rogue Exiles, it appear on the screen, okay, the big bar of the health, but I'm not seeing. Sometimes I'm walking around the screen. Okay, I know I have here a Rogue Exile, but where I can find him? I'm killing all the mobs and I don't find the guy. That's the truth. So let's see what they will do it. Often you will be clearing through a map and all of a sudden have a large life bar, exactly what I was talking about, of your screen with no connection to a boss or a monster. Exactly. This was because the Rogue Exiles had a very large aggro range. We have to reduce this aggro range so they are far more commonly on screen before he appears. Exactly the experience I was talking about. Finally, they saw it. Now we have the second issue is that even when you did find one and they were on screen, you could barely see them, especially in darker maps. In order to alleviate this, we have both added minimap icons to them once they have engaged combat. Okay, both great changes and both great improvements will help a lot the gameplay. Now we have further item drops improvements. We did a major patch to update overall loot drops. Yes, they did it. But there are still some outliers we are working on improvement. In this new patch, we are going to be making perfect jewels orbs and level 20 uncut skill level 20. Man, almost in level 90. I didn't find any level 20 uncut skill. Believe me, none, zero. Perfect jewel, I found two, I think. Yeah, two. So they are increasing and significantly making more common. This will still be relatively rare, but it was often the case. People would get very far into their game and carry progression before even finding one. This is my case. Perfect jewel, already found two. Level 20, zero. Now, let's jump for item labels addition to important items. Okay, let's see it. For those not using custom item filters, I'm using, and where in the game you might have observed that some more important items not being obvious enough, we have added outlines to the labels for precursor tables, expedition logbooks, and expedition chests to help them stand out when you have many other items on the ground around them. Okay, always good to have this. I'm using custom item filters, but some of you are not using, so for me this is great. Now we have shrine improvements. We have made a few changes to shrines. First, we have disabled the greed shrine and the corruption shrine. These were just bad, and often you right click off the buff because converting good items in gold or corrupting equipment is rarely beneficial. On top of that, we have made some of the rare shrines such as the diamond shrine and divine shrine appear far more often. And we have extended the duration of almost all the shrines. Man, this will impact a little bit the end game. Some of the shrines will now last 19 seconds from 45, this is 2 times the time, and some 60 seconds from 45. So this helps us a lot to face some maps. Now, new stash tabs, they already mentioned on the previous, but now we have everything in detail. We are adding the ritual stash tab, which will be able to store your omens and audience with the king fragments. They will also adding the stockable stash tab will hold all your runes, finally, talisman and soul cores. This tab comes with a button that allows you to upgrade your runes from one tier to the next. And great, finally. Instead of having to use Reforging Bench. Great. This will be for sale in the microtransaction store shortly after the patch is deployed. Man, I still don't get it why we don't have a stash tab for the tablets. But anyway, for the ending, we have some other minor improvements. Let me see it if there is something relevant. Update the visibility of the current skill. We have added bindable actions for being able to quick allocate strength, dex, or intelligence on your passive tree. Add a new batch of submissions to Twilight Recruit Key. We'll be allowing charms to go into the flask stash or any stash with the flask affinity set. Okay. Adding a quick travel button for town on the right hand side of the waypoint screen. Great. Adding the shortcut for control right click to bulk move currency items of the same time between inventories. This is common mostly when doing large trades of currency. Adding a filter property to be able to filter identify items by their item tier. And they have fixed 15 separate client, from instance crashes. Estimate deployment timeline. We are hoping to deploy this by the end of the week. So, exactly as I mentioned. So, in the end of the week, we'll have the new patch with all these new improvements. I like them all, honestly. Of course, we need much more, but at least they are working on. If you ask my opinion, I think they will keep working on this until the new league. And maybe, I don't have any information, just a feeling. I'm pretty sure now they are really focused on the new league of Path of Exile 1 because the community is crazy. We are playing in Path of Exile 1, the same league, for 1 year. So probably they will release the new league of Path of Exile 1 until end of June. That is my feeling. And Path of Exile 2 new league will be something, if I have to bet, beginning of August. I don't know. That is a feeling. Okay, guys, please don't forget to share with me what you think about these improvements, the new patch, and other improvements you think they should add it. Okay, take care and see you in the next video, Exiles.
Fresh meat.